Welcome to Bucco Banter on Herald-Standard.com. I'm your host, Burchianti. With me, back from vacation in Las Vegas, is Jonathan Guth. Jonathan, how was the trip?
Well, the trip was well, and looked at the board. The Pirates are 100 to 1 to win the World Series. So hey, could be worse.
I know they're doing fairly well. I think that's I thought it'd be more than that. So
I was surprised.
Well, if you're looking back at the Pirates of last week, I think the thing that comes to mind with me is like a roller coaster in more ways than one. John, where do we sit right now with the Pirates?
We sit at 34 and 31 after taking 2 of 3 from the Indians.
This is through Sunday.
Now Now it must have been my trip to Vegas, but the Pirates were just. They were embarrassed. I think you would agree, Rob.
They were god awful for 4 games there. Yeah,
and against the Orioles, we were all hoping, the pitching kind of fell apart a little bit. But I think they came back and showed some character, taking 2 or 3 from the Indians. Yeah,
they lost that for a 4-game stretch. You saw the Pirates of last year, where if they score 6 or 7 runs, they give up 10. If they hold the team down to 1 or 2 runs, they don't score at all. And it was that kind of a thing. Then they lost the 3 in Baltimore. We're never even in those games. 1-2-0 game. And then I guess the 2-0 game, I think that was against Cleveland. They lost
against Cleveland, yeah.
Cleveland, they lost the opener there, 4-game losing streak, and you're starting to think, here we go. They're only, I think they were a game above 500 at that point, or 2 games maybe. And then they come back. All of a sudden, they shoot up because of a guy named Pedro Alvarez. He just caught fire in the last 2 games against Cleveland, and almost single-handedly won his games for the Pirates to get him out of the road trip with a 2-4 mark and a little bit of momentum. What do you make of Pedro Alvarez? I mean, talk about a roller coaster. The guy did nothing, then he had that one, it was about a 6, 7, 8 game stretch or a 10-day stretch where he was tremendous. Then he just fell all the way back off again. Then all of a sudden, boom, 2 days he's got, he had 4 home runs, 10 RBI.
He's now back, I believe he's the leader on the team with 12.
In homers,
in homers, and that's like what he's paid to do. I mean, obviously the average is still terrible. It's just above 200. So he's going to have to start, at least getting some hits in there, and he's not really walking much, but I don't know. To be honest, I really think he's just going to have another bad stretch.
Yeah,
the next 2 weeks he probably won't hit any. That's my prediction.
Well, that's the thing with Pedro is this what you're going to get? Are you going to get like these huge spurts and then nothing, or at some point when he gets a little more seasoning, is he going to level off a little bit where those spurts aren't as drastic? Because he did. You can see, and I think John Mano mentioned this in our paper once in a column on our website, that as Pedro goes, so go the Pirates, and you could just see it. They were floundering, they were terrible. Then all of a sudden, 2 games he's on fire, and they win both games handily.
Well, that's the thing. He is very obviously when he hits and he puts the ball out of the park, they seem like they win. I don't know if they just take something from him. And I'm always about doing projections, and right now he's got about 12. He has 12 homers, so I'm saying, if he gets a couple by the end of the month, I mean, that's 15 in 3 months. I mean, average about 30. I know I'm just projecting.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something, Rob, that you think we can take and say, oh, that's good, keep him going, or look for another option? Because I'll admit, after the Baltimore series, a lot of people were saying Casey McGee or just whoever, just get him out of the lineup.
Right. Well, I guess Hurdle was even sounding a bit frustrated and said, he's talked to him and said about all he could say to him, and he has to just start to swing at these pitches instead of taking strikes and get more aggressive. And Pedro even said he was more aggressive, I think, after yesterday's game. He was swinging to the first pitch. I know at least one of his homers was a first pitch homer. He almost had 5 homers. He hit one off the wall, I know, as well. And you can see how drastic it is. He's okay, like you said, he's past McCutchen. He's the team leader in home runs at 12. He's second in RBI with 34. McCutchen's had this tremendous year, and he's only got 3 more RBIs than Pedro, getting in the 3 spot. And Pedro's even second on the team in RBIs with 25. He's third in slugging percentage behind, I think it's Garrett Jones and McCutchen. So you can see these streaks are so drastic.
The only thing is, my concern is he's just got power, and like you say, it's so streaky. It's not like he's drawing walks, or when he's bad, he's bad.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. When he's in that slump, you're right. He just kills the whole lineup. And I guess these things are all right when when he's hot, but you just have to hope that it'll level out. I said at the beginning of the year they got to just play him all year and let him go and see how the year finishes out. And I know they were probably getting close to benching him, I bet, before this streak, but. I'm glad they didn't, because you could see, the prodigious hot power that he has.
I would agree, because Casey McGee is really not much better, to be honest.
Yeah, he's been a little hot lately too, but you don't want to play him.
Who's going to be better, really? And I think you got that power threat, and as you can see, when Pedro, when he wants to connect and he really puts the bat on the ball, he's probably one of the better power hitters in the game, really. I mean,
let's hope his hot streaks stay a little longer, and the bad streaks are a little shorter from here on out. One other thing I want to touch on before we get out of here, AJ Burnett. He's just been tremendous outside of one start.
He's 7-2, and he's a winner.
He's the one that stopped the losing streak.
He's a winner, and I believe he's on a 6-game winning streak, and just seems like every time AJ's out there, I don't care who they're playing, we're comfortable that the Pirates will pick up a win, and he's been doing a good job. And I know New York said get rid of him, but hey, we're glad to take him. I think playing in Pittsburgh has been something he probably really relishes, because New York, obviously, you make one little mistake and they're all over you.
They're all over you, no doubt. The New York media, there's nothing like the New York media.
So in Pittsburgh, he's at a place where he's comfortable. He's actually looked upon as a winner and a leader, and someone the young guys look up to. And hey, he's been in New York, so he's been around the best of the best. So if he can play with Derek Jeter and A-Rod, I don't think he has any problem playing with our crew.
Yep, and one last note on Burnett. His ERA is 3.52. He got that one start, 2.03. We'll see you next week on Bucco Banter.